I don't like labels. I find them to be superfluous. I'm not a can of tuna. I don't need to be labeled. However, if you want one, it's a long one.
Hey everyone, I'm Nicoletta Heidegger, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and sexologist.
Hi, I'm Ariel Demure, and I'm a sex worker.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about why people are into some of the things they're into and normalizing desires, and hopefully some educational tips around that you can take with you. Tell me a little bit about what got you interested in normalizing people's sexual desires.
So I'm very fortunate that I got into sex work because I wanted to. Not because I felt it was a necessity. A lot of times people get into sex work because it is survival. And
which is a valid thing. A lot of us do work because we have to.
That people accept, survival sex working as an option. But for me, that wasn't my journey. I did it because it was an option and I liked it. And I learned during my duration as a stripper, there are so many people who consume such a vast diaspora of adult content and they don't know why. They almost would pose to me like, what do you think? Why do I like this? And I had to kind of unpack that with them. And it's something that I feel like so many, especially cis men, struggle with. And because we don't focus on mental health as much as we should in our society, they really don't have the opportunity to unpack that.
Yeah.
As sex workers, we're a lot of people's therapists in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And we aren't equipped with the tools as sex workers to
and
do
remember,
that.
we're not your therapist
Yeah,
right now.
well,
But you should get one.
You should get one. I don't think there's a person on the planet who wouldn't benefit from having someone to talk to.
I don't say a lot of shoulds, but that's one should, I will say. So you're saying you got a lot of people coming to you being like, why am I into you? Why am I into this?
Yes, literally. Quite
I have
literally.
people coming to me and asking the same thing. And I'm curious, do you feel
We're pretty.
Do you feel like the why question is, I don't want to say a good question, but I guess I am cautious around the why because I think sometimes when people ask it that way, it has an air of shame or stigma. And I guess what I mean by that is it's like, well, why are you into that? As if if we healed all of our stuff, or you're only into that because there's something wrong with you. And I want to validate that there are people who are into things because of things that have happened to them.
Sure.
A lot of us
It
eroticize our experiences.
Absolutely.
And we don't have to come at it, I think the why can be a place of curiosity. I want to better understand myself, not why are you into that? Because it's messed up.
What a healthy way to unpack things. No, I love that. I've definitely experienced in my life people who are just evolved emotionally maybe, and they are able to just say, I like what I like, and it is what it is, And that's so wonderful, but it's also kind of unique in our, very broken sort of system that we have now. Unfortunately, there's not enough focus on mental health, so a lot of people aren't in that place where they can just exist and like what they like.
Yeah.
Even just, I prefer brunettes, becomes such a thing that needs to be confabulated on, extrapolated, and, it doesn't need to be. That's why I've always said, I don't like labels. I find them to be superfluous. I'm not a can of tuna. I don't need to be labeled. However, if you want one, it's a long one.
Well, that's, I guess, one thing you were saying about oh, well, I'm into that and that just is what it is. And something I'll do with my clients sometimes is, again, not in that judgmental why, but to ask yourself, what are sort of the stories and narratives that I've been taught in my life that have shaped what I'm into? And not in a judgy way, but in some people are like, well, that's just my type. I just like that. But often the things, I think we like to feel like we have free will and free interest, but
what a revolutionary concept.
But there's so much information coming in from ads and media and systemic isms that most of the things we're into are very much influenced by our culture. And so I do think it's important, again, in that non-judgmental way to be well, what has shaped me having this preference? Is that really my desire, or is it based on like something I was taught that told me this is what's beautiful, this is what's hot, this is what's whatever?
Totes.
If you're feeling ashamed about what you're into, look at the Pornhub Wrapped list and see that like there's something for everybody out there.
There is something for everybody, and all of it is valid.
I mean, you seem so, maybe not on the inside, so tell me if this isn't true, but you seem so confident in like what you're into. I'm wondering if you have any tips, and I'm happy to share mine too, for people who aren't feeling confident about what they're into. Like anything that's been helpful for you to embrace what you're interested in and why.
Circling back, asking why. Yeah, it all starts with asking questions. I find that a lot of people ask questions because they want to give an answer, not because they want to hear what the answer is. People ask questions because they want to talk. And so that's their way to get into it. If you ask yourself questions, you begin to open up that stream of consciousness where you're able to unpack, and it's uncomfortable.
You're such a wealth of knowledge, and I so appreciate you sitting down and sharing all of this with us. And I think there's a lot of great stuff in here for life. So I hope you all learned something and got something out of this. And thank you so much for sitting down with us
Thank you
and
for
chatting.
having me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so grateful.